And we are live, inshallah and ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. So it's the Sunday Blockbuster show, and as usual, we have some technical difficulties, but hey, that's what makes life so much fun when we're in the curve. Today, I have a guest who has been on my coffee show more than a few times, but if you haven't or if you've yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do. But before I introduce Gina, I want to calibrate the energetic system a little bit with some breath work. And also today we are in the circuitry of the crown center, and the color of the day to wear would be violets. And what I am wearing, if you can see, is hot pink. And the stone of the day is actually the amethyst. Dun, 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 dun. And amethyst has abundant properties and abundant healing properties all in itself. And mostly it's thought of a protective stone because it's linked to our crown center, but it's helpful in purifying our mind and clearing it also of negative thoughts as well. But before I introduce Gina, I want to do a little breath work to enhance and connect with the channel of the crown. So what we're going to do is take an inhale, and as you inhale, we're going to create a sphere of golden shimmery light. And gold connects us to our soul's harmonic. So just go ahead and take in a breath of golden shimmery light. Inhale through your crown. And what we're going to do is evict all foreign energy and all toxic debris. And the exhale is going to release all that toxic debris. So go ahead and just do an inhale of golden shimmery light. I kind of like to hold for a count of 3 and then exhale and release. And then I want you to inhale the love of the galactic universe, the corridor. And exhale. Inhale feelings of a higher perspective. And exhale. Inhale beliefs channeled in from the divine. And exhale. Inhale where you belong and the law of attraction in action for your highest good. And exhale. Inhale channeled thoughts of that higher perspective. And exhale. And inhale, still just inhaling that golden shimmering light. And inhale the ability to open your heart and receive from the core of the divine within that divine heart. And exhale. And last but never the least, inhale again that golden shimmery light and the spiritual energy of the galactic universe, the divine. And exhale, inshallah and ashe. I don't know about you, but I feel a little lightheaded. So today I bring to you from Missouri through the Zoom channel my sweet friend and longtime little muser, Gina Nicole. Gina has created a heart-centered business around a form of feng shui and also angelic readings. She is also a curious regular writer for the Elephant Journal, so that's been super exciting. And today we're going to muse about, or around, I should say, the elements in and around our environment as a container to free up the debris in our home. Sometimes we don't even recognize that our home has a stagnant energy somewhere. And also what angels come up for our sacred space. And a few angels that are coming up for me today, I will share as well. But I'm going to shift so you can see Gina on the show. So we already have a glitch. I don't see you on my screen. What the heavens? I did change it to gallery. Hang on. Amber, are you there? Let me know if you can see Gina on the show. I can see your voice. It's kind of confusing. Oh, that's not what I want, and I don't know what I hit. What did I do? Oh, don't want to do that. Oh, absolutely. It's always exciting, right? uh, oh, lordy, lordy. Let's see. That's what I did. Oh, I want to do this. How do I do that? Okay, hang on. We're getting there. Okay, how do I do this? There has to be a way. Gosh, there's always something in my world. Always, always. I am going to... Dun, 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 dun. Nope. Zoom. Nope. Oh, good Lord. Story of my story. Oh, gosh. Bear with me. This is always fun, isn't it? Okay, there I am. How in the world? Okay. So frustrating. Hang on, boys and girls. I'm going to send Gina a different link because this is too annoying for me. Okay, honey, I'm going to send you a link through... Actually, I'm going to send it through Facebook. Yeah. Hang on, kids. Copy. It's always a deal. Too hilarious. Right now I am. It'll be under... There it is. Okay. Did you get it? Well, we're going to use it instead. So I'm going to end my Zoom and I'll see you, well, as soon as you show up here. Oh. There we go. Bingo. There.
Whoa. Okay, so leave Zoom.
Does it echo on your end?
Yes.
Okay, let's get rid of Zoom. Just hit end.
Okay, I've ended.
Okay, there we go. How was that for fixing a glitch?
Oh no, now where did you go? Oh, there we are. Okay. All right, so now do we have to go back in Facebook or are we on Facebook?
We never left Facebook. They watched our glitches.
Oh, perfect. Okay, this is cool. This is great. Talk about frequency.
Oh, too funny. So again, here we are. Here's my girl, Gina. Thanks for tuning in for that funny little glitch. So Gina, share some insight about the environment and feng shui and what that even looks like.
Yeah. So I love this topic so much because I think, vibration, frequency, it's so much on trend. Don't you think so? Like I'm seeing so much about it. Like it's so much on trend. And when I was really like sort of just sitting with the messaging of today and what we were gonna dive into, who knows? We never know what's gonna show up. But I really felt and I'm not somebody that focuses on what not to do. I really am not. Like I'm all about what we can do to enhance. But what's so interesting is lately, like I just wrote an article for Elephant Journal that was like 3 reasons to put down the sage and the sage now, which was really just all about. And I had an experience where I didn't know what I was doing because I wasn't properly trained yet. And I think that there's so much information out there that can muck it up. Like it really can muck it up, and we don't even know like what we're doing. So I think I really appreciate the attention and awareness that's coming to space today. Where it comes to feng shui and keeping a clean home and keeping a clean environment. And I'm always happy to muse with anybody down that corridor anytime when it comes to like, well, why not sage? And I don't want to focus on the things what not to do, but I really wanted to honor that and just point that out because I think it's really important. Like if there's certain things, and that's one of them, like unless you're really trained by a proper lineage, who are we to use these things, right? So that's one thing that I wanted to put out, and there's plenty to do to raise the vibe of your space. So when it comes to feng shui really is translated to wind water, which essentially I like to look at it as like the wind moves the water in our natural environment. That's what happens in our home. So the first way that's so easy to raise your frequency every day and to lean into your home is to simply ask yourself, do I like my space? Or what is snagging me about my space? Because too often, I see it in my own classes, like where it's like, okay, well, here's the things to do. And then people take off and do those things, and it causes this like yarn ball of stress of like, I'm not doing it right. And is this right? And it's like, well, wait a minute. Now we're being totally counterintuitive and we're going against the grain. Like the whole point is to help you feel better. So that's the first piece of advice that I have is like, pay attention to how we feel in our own space. That's really huge. And just notice like what I would call a snag, like what snags me about my own space. And if I love it and it feels good, it's good. And if there's something that I know I have to change, like we've had conversations before about, I think your dining room, like you're like, something's just not quite right. Like I love it, but what's here that's not quite right? And then we just sort of like went back and forth about the elements and then figured some things out. So it's like, we know intuitively when something is not quite right. And then something like feng shui, which I use, there's lots of different ways to apply methods in your home, whether it be interior decorating or there's certain type of architectures that are helpful. So if you choose feng shui and that calls to you, then we can use that as a system to help. But the first thing is like, don't feel like, because I see people too often, does that make sense? Like they get in this ball of yarn and it's like, I have to do this right. And it's like, no. First, just notice like, does the space feel good? And then let's take it from there. Like, don't be, obsessive about these remedies, or does that make sense? Like we can give it too much power over us and then it does the exact opposite.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, I've been doing a lot of house clearings or cleansings of spirit energy, not bad ones, which is nice for a change. But this one house I went to, I actually noticed they had 0 plants in the house.
Whoa.
Yeah, and their yard was amazing, but I was like, they don't like later when I left, I was like, they have no plants. And I know they had little kids, so I kind of get it, but they didn't even have like a little, like for me, I have my funny little air plant, he's barely surviving, but he's on my desk and, I have little things everywhere, and I am not very great with plants at all, but I understand the frequency and the vibration, how plants raise that. This crystal that is the crystal of today, the energy of today, this baby normally sits on my nightstand right next to my bed, just, cleansing space. But yeah, I thought that was curious. They didn't have any plants whatsoever in their house.
Yeah, that is interesting. And I think I would look at that and say that to me speaks a lot because, and this is going a little bit like, if you're watching this and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? Just know that this is going like way beyond 1A because the way that I do feng shui is according to elements. I do it according to the 9-star key elements. And so when I would go into somebody's home and see that there's no plants, my immediate thought would be, okay, they're probably not a wood element. And again, don't just bear with me. Don't try to think too much about this or be like, what's my element or what? But for somebody that doesn't have, say, a lot of plants or a lot of books or a lot of things that are considered wood element, I would think probably that there's someone like me, like they're earth. And so in feng shui, when we use 9-star key, it's this idea that there's a productive and overcoming cycle in feng shui. And for earth element, the plants naturally uproot earth. So for earth elements like myself, we're not super drawn to plants, but that could be a part of the challenge is we naturally fill our environments with things that are supportive and alike our element. So, before I learned about feng shui, I didn't really have that many plants in my environment either, because whatever we are, according to 9-star key, we tend to bring those things into our space. And it's really important to have a balance. And those 5 elements are wood, water, metal, earth, fire. So we need a balance of all 5, right? So like maybe if they're not drawn to plants, I would guess that they're probably like an earth element or maybe even a water element sometimes because water feeds wood. So it makes it, you give water to plants to make them grow. So that can be like, so when we have a balance of all, and it's really important. And we can look at, let's just go through actually just to be helpful. I'm going to burp. So whenever I burp, that's always like, oh, this is important. Excuse me. But like, let's just go through some of the elements. Like I'll give you like 3 examples of each and just to make sure that we all have like a balance of elements. So first, we can start with wood because that's what you were kind of mentioning. So wood is, you could do plants, you could do books, something in the paper form. Flowers are not wood, important to note. Flowers are fire. And then wood in the elemental cycle feeds fire, right? Because you would put wood into a fire to make it go bigger. So for fire, a lot of people would be like, oh, fire, candles, which is good, but fire on fire can be a little bit too much, especially if you're dealing with health issues or illnesses in your environment. There's also, in terms of frequency, there's the debate on the type of candles that we use. So I will only use beeswax in our home. There's a few that have been gifted by super high frequency sources that all burn, but typically I'm just doing beeswax candles, which are really clearing in themselves. And other ways to use fire, flowers, animal, feathers, but animal sculptures. I had a question the other day about somebody had put animals, but they were plastic. And she said, well, but the plastic, like what is the element? And it's like, well, think about the intention that was going behind forming the plastic was an animal. So to me, it trumps fire energy. So I would use that. And then fire feeds earth. So crystals, really beautiful way to bring in earth. Like that's an awesome way to bring in earth. Other ways you could actually use sand, like those sand Zen exercise.
Yeah. The Zen gardens. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Zen garden. So you could use sand. I like to use earth. I like to use color, like the skin tones, the beiges, anything that's like deserty. Green is not earth. Green is wood, by the way. But yeah, so anything that sort of reminds you of a desert sand. And then earth feeds metal. So metal's fun because you could do circle is the metal shape. So you could use circles, you could use metal sculptures, you could use silvers, metallics, you could use chimes, wind chimes. And then metal ultimately holds, like think of a metal bowl holding water using water. So you could use mirrors, which mirrors are a pretty interesting and intense feng shui remedy. So we have to be really mindful of mirrors, but they certainly can activate, but sometimes they can activate too fast or they can reflect back and push things away. So I'm always mindful of mirrors. I think if you're using mirrors with intention, you want to really consider, like, I don't really advise putting mirrors in front of doors because it pushes back energy. If there's a long hallway, I don't advise mirrors in there because you're going to speed up the energy that we would want to naturally slow down. And then glass is water, and then actual water, so like fountains. Also important to note, watercolors in feng shui are going to be actually like behind me. This navy color is more water. Deep grays. So watercolors are not like the bright blues and teals like Caribbean Ocean. Think like lake, like deep grays, deep navies. So those are just some tips on how to balance and bring in all of the elements. Yeah.
So do you find like for me, like I bring the like each room has like its energy frequency is kind of what, and I also incorporate, you know, the animal locations in my home. So like right now where my studio is, this is my sheep corner and I am a sheep. So I like moved everything to face like the better direction, even in space. And hopefully, you know, my assistant would tell you my desk is not always the cleanest, but I work on decluttering all the time. That is like a thing for me, whether it's my car, it's like just I've noticed I've been getting rid of things that really I don't use anyway. Right? So there's different areas that carry a different frequency and a vibration. So the center of my home is open. Like even though I'm in Utah, my house is very California style. It's one level, like it's total California. And the main area is all open between family, the fireplace, and the kitchen. It's just this huge open area. So I try to bring all of the elements in there. Of course, the fireplace, that's just natural fire. I don't need a lot of fire because I'm full of fire anyway, body wise. And the kitchen is mostly like I've got wood floors, wood cabinets. I have granite though, countertops. And I have plants out there that I've finally figured out how to keep them going. Like I have an orchid, first time ever. I haven't thank you, tortured my poor orchid in the windowsill, right?
Oh, they're hard. They're tough. Orchids are really tough. You know, they're like the gift that keeps giving, but they're tough to keep alive.
But I learned the north. Orchids love the northern sun. So, and that's the window I put it in, and it is like in heaven. When I put it in my western room, no. But the north, it's like it's got like 3 little things going off and hasn't bloomed yet, but there's progress, right? Baby steps.
Yeah, it's coming. And I love that you're mentioning, you know, this is so good because you're mentioning like the like directions. And I am like totally directionally challenged. So what I love, and I should have said, like, I am trained in BTB feng shui. And what that means is like we don't really know, nor it doesn't matter for BTB feng shui, like which faces which is why I love it. Because I couldn't tell you which way is north, south, east, west. Of course, for plants, it matters. But in terms of the way that BTB feng shui structures it is by a map, which you kind of, you know, were saying, like, and I don't think I could screen share. Could I actually share? Some of you have seen it before, I'm sure. I'll just show you this one. This is the Bagua map.
Oh,
so
you
your front door is along this line, and then it's hard to see, isn't it?
No, it looks great. I mean, I can see. Oh, go to the, yeah, right there. Perfect.
Right there. Yeah. So then, you know, you have your different areas that represent different things. And you just sort of superimpose this over your floor plan. So it's really helpful because you can say, okay, well, what am I working on? I'm working on love and partnerships. I'm going to go to the back right-hand area of the home and work on that. Yeah. And then like with plants, plants do really well in, these 2 sectors. It's hard to show, but you can kind of see with wealth and prosperity and family and health. The other things about plants and even like fish and things is they cycle energy through, is, you know, even with food, like we always do the lemon test where, you know, you put lemons out because lemons are 50 hertz. Like, so they're really high vibe. And when the lemons aren't doing well, like when they don't age by just hardening, or they'll age by like getting moldy or black spots, we know that the frequency is probably lower, so they're aging adversely, which is not a bad thing. It's just information. And plants and fish and things like that kind of do the same thing. They run energy through us. So or for us, I should say. I was at a client's house just this past week, and she was like, "This is the first time ever in like the couple years that she's been like playing with the energy of her home that her lemons have stayed really good and healthy and vital, and they're aging well." So we know that, like, you know, she's kind of mastered how to manipulate the frequency in her home, which is really it's a benefit. It's really huge. It's helpful. So that's just, you know, it's just one way. Is another, you can Google Bagwell map. I have a free one that I offer, like in the Discovery Vaults. I could probably come back and put a picture here, or maybe I can even do it now. I'll try to do it now. I bet I could do it in the comments.
I actually think, oh yeah, you could totally do it in the comments.
Yeah, I'll do it now. That way people just have it. I'll find it. But yeah, because it's a really easy way. And there's also, what's really cool is there's also a Bagwell map for the body. Let me just put it there. Did that go? No, I'll do it. But there's a Bagwell map for the body that's really helpful. Let me go there. Huh. More technical difficulties.
Gotta love Mercury.
I know. What is happening with it?
You know, so it can be your best friend or your worst nightmare, because Mercury is like our channeling energy. It's our ability to either channel intuition or to be in our logical space. So when it goes retrograde, if you're born with it retrograde already, it's going to shift to the other side of the mind that you don't intuitively use all the time. So it's like this when we all have Mercury, right? It's not just a Gemini thing. It's just where Mercury plays out in your natal chart when you're born, and the sign it's in, and the house, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
It is a gift. I mean, it really is. It does help us move through. But yeah, it's not letting me, which is so weird, because usually I can put pictures in the comments, no problem, but it's not letting me do it. So that's okay. We don't need it. You could, like I said, you could definitely Google it. There's ways to get a Bagwell map where I'm happy you could reach out, and I can give you one. But that's so weird that it won't let me do it.
It won't let you. Oh, that is weird. I can see you've put Bagwell map, but it won't let you attach the image.
No, isn't that strange? I wonder if I do this. Let me see. Wonder if I did that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let's see if that'll work.
Oh, there we go.
Really helpful.
Well,
I don't know. No, that probably won't work. Well, I promise.
We'll get it there. We'll share it somehow.
Yeah.
She might have to send it to me, and then I put it in there. Techie stuff is always exciting, right?
Yeah, I know. But like you said, I mean, it's a learning period. But yeah, hi Lori. I just saw Lori was there. Is there any questions about that too? Because I'm really happy to answer questions about, like, I know. Oh, I'm able to put it. I just was able to put it in your entire group. So there we go. So there, I did that way.
So yeah, electronics. It's always Mercury. It's hilarious. Plus, not to go off on a tangent, but like we're right now entering into a square between Uranus and Saturn, which is like, it's literally going to clean out the cobwebs energetically of like past karma through things that have been covered up from like the American Revolution, the Dark Ages, World War I, II, and the American Indian, like all this stuff. Like, just because different planets are in different aspects that they were in at those different timelines. So tomorrow's going to be pretty intense in a cosmic way. And we're actually... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Click in again, Gina. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that was
Okay.
totally strange.
That was totally weird. I guess
All of
we're
a
not gonna.
sudden, it's like, what the heck?
That was hilarious. I'm like, wait, we froze. Where did we go?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And hang on, let me
Back.
see if I can get rid of this.
Oh yeah, it's all oh my goodness. It's just hilarious. It's hilarious. I also, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna note how fun it is that we both showed up in hot pink. One of the ways that I address frequency in my space, even, is I'm a moon child, so I really connect with the moon. And I'm always dressing according to where the moon is. So, like today, moon shifted into Leo. So I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna wear bright pink because Archangel Jophiel is the feng shui archangel, and that is one of her colors. By the way, angels don't do gender, we do, and Jophiel also has a very masculine presence as well. But today it felt very feminine, so that's why I'm wearing pink. And then here you are showing up in your pink. I
Is
love it.
that too funny?
It's cool. Yeah, it's really cool, and that's something that we. Oh, Tanya? Did you leave?
No, I'm
Uh
here. I'm
oh.
having screen issues now. It's okay.
Oh, we're going back and forth. How funny.
Oh, Lord.
It's funny.
Okay,
But
well,
yeah,
I
that's
can't get us even on the screen. I don't know what's happened there, but totally hilarious. And this is funny. It's literally, it's hilarious. You cannot make this funniness up, right?
no, not even if we tried.
Too
Yeah, that is
hilarious. So yeah, the angels, I mean, like for me, the angel Zadkiel came up and he's associated with Gemini in the season and also Uriel because that is actually the degree of what the sun is today. So it's like these two are like holding space and time for this upcoming merge of these two planets. Plus, I think the moon is also going to be at the same degree. So there's this huge cosmic portal into the grace field in a magical way.
so Uriel and Zadkiel, that is awesome. Uriel really helps. I was trying to see too if I could share a file on Joe file for those of you that would like to learn more. So I'm going to just put that in the group because I can't comment on it.
So strange.
So I'm just putting Archangel Joe file PDF. I'm putting it in the actual group. But Uriel, when it comes to feng shui, rules the light, like rules our lights and our light system. So for anybody having, and your electrical system in terms of the home can be really representative of your nervous system. We need our nervous system for everything. I mean, if we don't, everything, we have to be talking about our autonomic nervous system. So Archangel Uriel is a great archangel to call on to help you with the lights, with your inner light, with your nervous system, like in terms of feng shui. And then Zadkiel, I really love that Zadkiel came up for you because I always find Zadkiel as a sorter. Like, thank you for helping me. I just saw something. Thank you for helping me to, understand like what I can let go of and what I can't. Like he like really good like review energy, especially when it comes to our space. And I'm always calling on Archangel Jophiel when I do feng shui all the time. She just loves. She's masterful at helping us with our home. But that's fun that's who came up.
Yeah, well, it's the forgiveness. It's the forgiveness and the
Mm-hmm.
letting go and having that different perspective within
That's huge. Isn't that so huge with our space too? Because when we aren't, we tend to hang on and we tend to clutter our spaces, and right, there's like I'm out like what is externally in our space. It's so reflective of what's going on internally. And when it comes to forgiveness, I mean, it really is. When we don't forgive or we hang on, it's such a party killer. It's such a party, but it's right. Like eh, it's like such a downer.
oh yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we get caught up in our own story, our head trip, and then we don't even recognize that it's tripping us up. To the good and the gooder, our mind will get in the way and be sometimes our worst enemy,
That's so
right?
true. Yeah, that's so true. And for anybody that wants to, that finds that, because you bring up a really good point. I'm going to also see, actually, I think I can screen share. Could I screen share? Can I screen share on this?
We can try.
It says I can, and this is just a really good, because yeah, it says I
Right?
can't. Let me just try. Oh, you got to screen share the whole screen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so you can't just do, okay, well, let me make it really big then, so that, oh,
There,
how weird. No, it
I
won't.
just put it on you.
That's so strange, because when I'm,
Oh,
well,
wait.
let's just see. Let's see what shows up. Oh no, yeah, it won't show pictures for some reason. That's okay. But I was gonna just say that the Bagua map for the body, when you walk in your door, if you were to turn right, so immediately in a door, in a door, in a room, in your home, so immediately through the door and you turn right, that bottom right corner is reflective of helpful people and travel, as well as the head and the mind and what goes on in the head. So whenever we come into like too much headspace, or we're heady, or we're really like being egotistical, clear out that area, because it helps to clear the ego mind. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you? No, you're there. Okay.
No, I'm here. I just have it just on you. Ha! I'm so funny.
Oh. I'm like, because I can't even see you. That's hilarious. But yeah, so that's a really good feng shui tip for, when we do get heady and we get in our way with our own mind, just really work on the areas that are through a door and to the right. That like really helps to declutter headspace.
Right. No,
Yeah.
see, now you're on the other side. I am so creative. So yeah, totally like just my garage is in that area of my home, and I literally have been cleaning out the garage. And again, the mind, right? Cleaning out
Yeah,
my
and you know what's challenging about the garage? And your garage only falls in your Bagua map. Tanya knows this, but like the garage only falls in the Bagua map if your house wraps around the garage. Like if you could take your garage and kind of go, like here's two things, because that's all I have. Like if you could take your garage right off of the side of your house, it's not included in the Bagua map. But if your garage falls there, what ends up happening and what that could resemble is this coming and going of ideas. As long as there's so much in the garage, it could be, it's that, because the garage is where we come and go, and this open and close with like this coming and going of ideas, and nothing ever stays and everything goes. So you could help that by just cleaning it up. I'm talking so much with my hands.
It's so true though. Like this is hilarious. My garage, I have no shelves in it. I've been trying to find somebody to help me like put shelves in it and organize it. And yeah, the people I bought my house from took all the shelving out. So that was part of the cluster. Now I'm just like, I've got to fix this. So that's
Time
kind
to
of
go to
where my
IKEA.
journey is right now. And if you, again, were to ask my assistant, she'd totally tell you my mind sometimes is, whoa.
In and out. Well, that's also because you're like, this etherical being that's also lives in another world sometimes too.
It's
Which is
just
great.
totally funny. And I'm trying to like be a little more grounded, But for me, that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah. And a really good thing for grounding energy, which I know you have so many practices, but just practical things for people watching is, earth energy really is very grounding. And if you're the first thing I'll say, because we're talking about the garage, if there is a bedroom above the garage, it's really important to ground that energy with either, you could do 4 crystals in the corner. There's a remedy in feng shui that we call heaven to earth, where you ground energy that way. But a really nice way to just ground is to choose, 4 solid crystals and put a remedy in place. And there's, with BTB feng shui, I can't really give all, because that's just the way that he set it up. Like there's certain things that we have to have an energy exchange. But what I will say is that intention trumps. And so when you're doing anything, it's like, do it with the intention, like what I'm about to share, like do it with the intention that like I'm grounding, and maybe even say that when you're doing it. But just placing 4 crystals in the 4 corners of your home if you practice like a compass feng shui or a different type, you could do the 4 directions. And then what I like to do, and I like to make them matching, and I like to have them be something actually really similar to this, like a lava stone that's it absorbs a lot. And then you place them in the 4 corners that it's just, like I'm grounded and anything that doesn't serve me will be absorbed. And then I like to put another one, I like to hide one somewhere in the very center. So it's like you're this grounded energy. It's kind of like a big crystal grid over your home. It's an
Yeah,
easy way
yeah,
to do
yeah.
it.
For sure. Cool.
Yeah, it's really
Okay.
fun.
Is there anything else you want to share through all our technical difficulties and how much fun
I
this is?
know. No, but it is fun. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's really fun. I didn't know what was going to come up. Who knew? Um, but yeah, I know. And I don't really see any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions. But yeah, I can't think of anything. I think we covered so much. I think just, yeah,
Oh,
that feeling that when I sat with it this morning, that was the message that really was important to share is make sure that you're listening to you regardless of anything that you hear. It's like we have to make sure that we listen to us first and how do we feel in our own environment and start there. Like that's the fastest way to really begin shifting the energy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It always starts with us.
Yeah. And it usually ends with us too. But
Right?
then, there's a big journey. Big path that tends to go like this, and then eventually we come back.
So
We come
funny.
back
Oh
up.
my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thanks for hopping on today for Sunday's Blockbuster show with my good friend Gina Nicole. I'll have more information about her in the notes once we recalibrate the show, along with the image of the bagua and whatnot. So, again, thanks for joining me. I'll see you not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. I'm going to have my friend Gerald Savage on. We're going to muse about sound and energetically, not just sound in your body to bring you into alignment, but your home, based on when it's born, actually carries a sound and a frequency too. So, if you can kind of merge the sound of the home and the sound of your body, you can actually bring things in and disperse things out energetically through the frequency of toning. So, inshallah, ashe, and I'll see you, of course, during the week. Bye.